Welcome back to Culture and Code, the podcast where we ask the questions that show up after the AI pilot deck gets approved, the demo goes great, and everyone's excited. I'm your host, Rayfield Johnson Jr.
And I'm your co-host, Nina Arora Rowland. Today's question is one leaders usually ask about 6 months in and almost always right before budget season.
Yep, the dreaded we invested in AI, but how do we know it's actually working?
And what's interesting is that question usually shows up when the novelty is worn off. The demos are done, the hype is cooled, and now leadership wants proof.
And no, we did save some money. It's not a complete answer.
It might get you through one steering committee meeting, but it won't sustain long-term investment.
Exactly. Let's think about some cost savings, right? So let's start here. Cost savings is the easiest AI value to measure. It's tangible. It fits into spreadsheets, and finance understands it instantly.
Which is exactly why everyone starts there. Labor reduction, automation efficiencies, fewer hours spent on manual work. It feels familiar.
Yep. But it's also the least strategic measure of success.
Cutting costs doesn't actually tell you whether decisions are better, risks are lower or surfaced earlier, the organization is responding faster, or whether people actually trust what the AI is telling them.
Yep. I would say for the last 2, 3 years, both you and I have seen this where the only conversation we had was around cost takeout from AI. If AI's only story is cost takeout, it becomes very easy to cut in the next reorg.
Exactly. AI that changes how the business operates, how it decides, prioritizes, and responds. That's the value leadership doesn't want to walk away from.
That's right. A quick break to I acknowledge our sponsors here. Diet Pepsi, the drink of champions. All right. Let's go to the next value category, right? So one of the highest value signal leaders often miss is decision latency.
Which is really just a fancy way of asking, how long does it take to go from something happening to something doing something about it?
Yeah, agreed. Do you like Diet Pepsi, Nina? You didn't say anything when I did the
Oh, you
sponsor
mean high
moment.
fructose corn syrup? No, I'm good. Thank you.
You're gonna get
Have your
we're
cancer when you
gonna
can.
we're gonna lose our sponsors because of you. All right. All right. But serious moment. A lot of organizations, that gap is measured in days or weeks and not minutes.
Exactly. And because by the time people pull reports, reconcile the numbers, and agree on what's true, the moment's already passed.
Yep, I agree. And with, platforms like we see every day, like Microsoft Fabric, Copilot, and Power BI, AI can surface anomalies earlier, automatically add context instead of forcing people to investigate, reduce those long interpretation cycles that slow everything down.
Yeah, so the metric isn't how many dashboards did we build?
Yeah. It's how much faster leaders act and how confident they are when they do act.
Speed without confidence just creates chaos. Good AI improves both at the same time.
Agreed.
Another undermeasured area is risk, especially the kind that doesn't show up until it's painful.
I agree. The AI value shows up when fewer surprises hit leadership. They're going to be happy and not upset, right? Forecast confidence improves over time, and data quality and governance issues are caught before they influence decisions.
Yep, and using tools like Microsoft Purview alongside Fabric, and again, there's so many other tools out there. Rayfield and you and I both work heavily with Microsoft, so I'm going to stick with the Microsoft theme here. So Purview, coupled with Fabric, orgs can start measuring things like fewer data incidences, better lineage and traceability, fewer downstream, why are these numbers different conversations.
Exactly. And those conversations consume a lot of executive time
Exactly. Trust is hard to quantify.
until it's gone, right? And then suddenly every AI output gets questioned, no matter how good the model truly is. The next value category around human capacity is this is a big one, right? That gets overlooked, where humans are actually spending their time.
Exactly. AI value isn't about replacing people. You've heard us say that before in other episodes. We're saying again. It's about redirecting the cognitive effort to higher value work.
Exactly. And replacing people. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Um, but truthfully, because it's not funny to some people. I'm just kidding, right? So with Copilot and agentic workflows, analysts spend less time cleaning and reconciling data. The engineers spend less time firefighting pipelines, and then leaders spend less time debating. Everybody hates a debate. Whose report is actually right?
Yeah. And you see that value show up in subtle ways. Fewer rework cycles, better questions in meetings, less second guessing.
Yeah, I would say fewer. Fewer is the key point there, right? You want to have a lot less. Can you double check this moments? IT hates that.
Yeah. And that's not cost reduction, that's capacity creation. And that's much harder to unwind once people experience it.
All right. Well, we have reached our part where we're at our Marvel quote of the day. This one is measuring value perfectly. Nina,
From Hawkeye in Avengers Age of Ultron, the city is flying. We're fighting an army of robots. And I have a bow and arrow.
that's right. And it's funny because, like, if you think about the character, Hawkeye isn't the flashiest of the Avengers,
No, but his value isn't measured in spectacle or raw power.
right? He has a intrinsic ability to be measured in impact, judgment, and timing.
Exactly. It's exactly how AI value should be measured. Not flash, but effectiveness.
I completely agree. If you don't define the value up front, then
AI will default to vanity metrics, usage stats, feature adoption, activity without outcome.
exactly. Those thoughtful organizations define success across business outcomes, confidence in decision making, organizational capability, and then trust in systems and in the data.
And those measures evolve as the operating model matures. So, what matters in year one isn't the same as year three.
That's a good point. If you stay in the same point, you're not actually going to be growing. So AI, just like the people around it, the value evolves, right? And your measurement strategy has to evolve with it.
Right. And cost savings are fine.
Yeah, but they're not, yeah, but they are table stakes rather.
Yeah, real AI value shows up when decisions improve, risks decrease, and people focus on what actually matters.
Right? You have to measure the things that fundamentally change how the business works.
Yep. And that's a wrap for us this time. Thanks for tuning in to Culture and Code. If you have thoughts, feedback, ideas for future episodes, please, comment, like, subscribe, use the hashtag Culture and Code Podcast.
Yeah,
Until
I
next
mean,
time.
yeah, until next time. See ya.